Welcome to Destination Marriage, a podcast about successfully navigating the winding roads of marriage. Whether you are looking to get married, you are engaged, newly married, or have been married for years, we want to share with you how we have successfully navigated those winding roads over the past 18 plus years.
Join us on this journey as we discuss real life experiences, both highs and lows, and what we have learned along the way. Happiness, grace, passion are some of the things we all strive for in marriage, and we invite you to take this journey with us. Welcome to Destination Marriage.
Welcome to episode 15 of Destination Marriage. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Tommy.
And we're thrilled to have you join us on this journey today. If you're following us on Instagram, then you probably already noticed that we just celebrated our 19th wedding anniversary. Can you believe it's been 19 years?
I love every one of them, baby. It's kind of every year it's crazy. Like when we think, wow, we've been 19 years, we've been married. That's and when we say it out loud to people, they're like, really? Wow.
Yeah.
But 19 years is kind of one of those. I mean, the whole purpose of today's episode is to really talk about the value of celebrating anniversary every year. But 19 is one of those kind of like trap years where it's like when you turn 18, everybody cares. When you turn 19, nobody cares. And then when you turn 21, it's like a big deal again. So like 19 and 20 are kind of like, eh. But
I know 20 is kind of a big deal
it is
for anniversary.
For anniversary, but I'm saying this is an age like nobody really cares when you turn 19.
Yeah.
But we care about our anniversary.
It's still a huge accomplishment. I know it is kind of a one-off number,
yeah,
but still,
it's a random. But
19 years is that's a lot of effort. It's a lot of work, and 19 years.
It is
worth being celebrated.
Every year is worth being celebrated, baby.
Well, if you know us personally, you know that we always make a point to plan something special each and every year.
Absolutely. So in today's episode, we figured we would talk about our recent trip that we just took for our anniversary.
Yeah.
And then shift towards kind of more the bigger picture and talk about why we believe celebrating your anniversary every year, as well as other seemingly small achievements or milestone, really is just a fantastic idea for your marriage.
Yeah. So when we initially started talking about this year's anniversary getaway, we always kind of sit down, talk about where we want to go, what we want to do. We were trying to gauge where we could actually go this year. I mean, in the midst of COVID, kind of limited as far as, the restrictions that everyone has in place. But, what else is going to offer all of the things that we typically like to enjoy during our anniversary trips?
Right.
So
we were, just for everyone listening, if you're thinking about traveling, especially overseas, like maybe to the Caribbean, if you're on the East Coast, or Mexico, things like that, really go to each of those countries' sites, because we like to get away for a long weekend to the Caribbean if we can.
Yes.
So we started doing some research, and
it ended up being some
places like Cayman are still closed.
Yeah.
Completely. Turks opened up, and I went on the site, and it's like a laundry list of requirements. So just a heads up, guys, like there's things like potential quarantines. You're going to be checked. You have to get a U.S. certified like COVID lab testing place, and have certification that you tested negative.
Mm-hmm. And the time frame is different too. I think for Turks, you needed to have your results 7 or 8 days before landing.
Some places they're like within 3 days of the trip. A lot of countries are actually requiring third-party trip insurance, which adds a lot of cost.
We were just like, you know what?
Yeah, let's just not fly to another country.
This is just not the year for that.
Right. Plus all the air travel, stuff going on. I know a lot of people are traveling just fine, but for us, we're like, we want to go on a relaxing trip.
Right. And Grand Cayman's just like, yeah, we don't want anybody coming to our island this year.
We don't need anybody. We're fine. So what did we decide to do, baby?
So when we started looking at everything, I don't honestly remember how it popped up, but just in my search, I think Charleston had popped up as suggested when I was looking at just places that we could easily maybe get to without having to hop on a plane. Because that's the other thing. So like when you're on a plane, you've got to wear a mask the whole time. I'm fine wearing a mask in the store, but I probably will suffocate or just, I don't know, it feels very claustrophobic wearing a mask for 4, 5, 6 hours on a plane. So Charleston popped up. We've never been, and we're on the East Coast here, so we looked at just kind of the window of time we would need to actually get there without being pressed for time.
Right.
And luckily we have family nearby to provide that added support as far as watching the kids. But we decided to make a road trip instead, and we drove down to Charleston, and it's
really not bad. 6.5, 7 hours. which
Yeah,
is
I think.
leave mid-morning, got there late afternoon.
Yeah, it was like maybe a little over 6 hours. It wasn't bad. Smooth, easy trip. No tolls. That was nice too.
Yeah, there you go. It's not like going to the Northeast. Yeah,
Right.
we looked at like the Northeast, and Jersey, New York, they're talking about like quarantining people. That
Yeah,
come
and a lot of the
through,
restaurants weren't really offering the
Yeah.
same type of service. A lot of it was still, in a takeout situation, and we really did want to be able to kind of explore outdoors.
Right.
We like to be out, kind of seeing the sights and, enjoying delicious food. So, anyways, Charleston was our option,
Yeah.
and we chose, and we're so thrilled that we chose Charleston.
Yeah, it
I
ended
mean,
up being just a perfect trip.
it was amazing.
The only thing we were worried about going into it was, middle of August.
Yes.
We knew that
The heat.
not that, hey, we've been in the South, we're in Southeast Virginia, and the humidity and heat here for the last month has been
Like
in
100%.
over 100%, 100 degrees. So it couldn't get any worse as far as
Right.
that was concerned. But it was actually, there was a nice breeze most of the time off the water.
I was
I
surprised.
was kind of surprised. It felt a lot cooler than it did here in Virginia.
It really did. It was actually, for us, it was much cooler. Now, if you're coming from the north, it may still be sweltering for
Right.
you, but it actually felt really nice. So we looked at different places to stay. We actually considered doing an Airbnb for a while, and we thought, oh, maybe, because there's a lot of really cute, unique, historical spots that you can rent as an Airbnb. But, again, when we were looking at everything, there weren't as many Airbnb options still available in the location we wanted to be, because we wanted to be able to bike and kind of walk everywhere
Right.
with ease. But we found a fantastic hotel.
Yeah.
And if you guys are interested in going to Charleston, we would highly recommend. It's called the Spectator. You actually get butler service, and it's in the French Quarter.
It is which is kind of as locals go, it's kind of the touristy section of Charleston, but it doesn't feel very touristy.
Well, you can easily get to the neighborhood still from there.
They're a 5-minute walk away. Everything's very
If that.
compressed there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in a beautiful spot. It's a couple blocks from the water. And even with the COVID stuff, they're all complying with local regulations, but there was nothing obnoxious about it. Like you hear some stories, everybody was pretty straightforward and just kind of wearing your mask. And other than that, it was really pretty, some of the hands-free type stuff, but everything was great. They did great service.
It's a really nice boutique hotel.
Not very big.
Not very big, so definitely boutique.
There's really nothing, I don't think there's any huge hotels in Charleston, right?
No, I mean, there's a few like main or major hotel names that maybe you would recognize.
Yeah, but everything has a boutique type feel because it's in
Yeah.
old historical buildings and things
Right.
like that, yeah.
The other thing is they offer bikes, so we were able to just, sign up for a bike for the next day. And that was great because that's really kind of the way you want to get around. I mean, they have horse-drawn carriages, but I kind of wanted to stay away from that.
There's a lot of horse-drawn carriages.
There were a lot of them. I mean, I would watch where you step sometimes. You might step in that.
So we'd always heard that Charleston was a foodie town, and
Yeah.
it lived up to that expectation. 'Cause
And we've been to
yeah.
some places with amazing food, but this was by far.
We've been to some, not saying that we've had the best meal in Charleston, but we didn't have a bad meal down there. There was no meal
consistently delicious.
Yeah, like not just consistently okay, like every single meal we had was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was
The drinks, the food,
Yeah.
the service.
Yep.
The service was great too.
Yeah. Now, it's also a little bit light on travel with the tourists, so that was nice for us probably because
I didn't mind that.
Yeah, no problems there, right? Like
Right. I
getting
don't like it when things are
immediate
overcrowded.
service. We didn't wait at any restaurant. We
Yeah.
just got sat immediately every place we went. It was fantastic. So what was your favorite?
Yeah. So actually, no.
favorite
Maybe we should tell
restaurant or
everyone
meal?
to stay home so we can go.
Yeah, don't go to Charleston next time we want to go.
What were you going to ask me? The best restaurant?
Yeah, what was your favorite meal?
Oh, gosh, that's kind of tough. I think we kind of probably lean towards one of the restaurants the most because I think we wanted to go there a second time.
Yes.
That's usually a tell that
Yeah.
that's the favorite.
I stand corrected. We did. We had one place we got turned. We didn't get turned away.
It was
but
just
we
a really
walked
long
away.
wait the last day we went.
Yeah, 167 Raw.
167 Raw. Oh
If
my
you guys
gosh.
ever go, we were recommended that place from the butler.
Yeah, the Butler
He said
at the
it's
hotel.
even a place that like locals go. And we went over there, and they had what was that?
It was a swordfish Reuben.
Swordfish Reuben, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was delicious. And
Which
your
sounds
lobster
really,
roll was amazing.
My lobster roll was delicious, and their oysters were good because they had this. Now I can't think of the
Sauce.
name. Oh, a mignette
Yeah,
sauce.
it was-
That literally, and I've had mignette sauce plenty of
I
other
think that's
places
how you
we
pronounce
love.
it. I don't even know.
Who knows? Potato. But it was so good if you like oysters. But that sandwich, even though it sounds kind of interesting and unique,
Oh, it was perfect.
it was amazing.
I was actually quite disappointed when we went back and it was like an hour wait at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We were like, yeah, not tonight.
If you go to 167 Raw, order the Swordfish Reuben.
I think it would say a pastrami swordfish,
Oh, was
something
it?
like that. But it's basic. It doesn't say Reuben on the menu.
Oh, it
but
doesn't?
you can't miss it. It's one of their like they only have a handful of entrees, and that was one.
Basically, it's dressed like a Reuben
It is,
sandwich.
exactly
So it has
like
the
a Reuben.
sauerkraut, it has the cheese,
it's
but of
amazing.
course it's a swordfish.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was delicious. So next time we
Right.
go, the first place we're going is there to get that sandwich.
But remember, I think one of our second favorite meals
Mm-hmm.
was when we went to 167 and we walked away. We went to Husk. We were able to get into Husk.
That's right.
And it's which in an old historic like 3-story kind of mansion.
Beautiful home.
Beautiful home. You can see all these pictures. We got a bunch of these pictures up on our Instagram, so we encourage
Yeah.
you to to visit so if you wanted to see.
I'm going to share because I don't think I shared everything. I
them,
didn't want
yeah.
to like spam everybody with all of our, every step through Charleston. But I'm going to go ahead and add all of that. That way you guys can go to our Instagram page, actually look, and I'll link it so you can actually go on their Instagram page if you're headed to Charleston. But Husk was amazing. And we actually lucked out with the table because you do need a reservation.
Yeah, we went a little bit later at night and they cleared out, so we got kind of that second wave and we were able to get in. And man, the food was good.
It was so good. What did you order there, though?
Man, I don't even remember now.
You had a snapper?
I might
think
have had
you
a
had the
snapper. Yeah,
snapper.
you had a
I had the pork.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So we did get.
Now I'm hungry.
I know, right? We did have one kind of crap afternoon weather-wise. It was one of those
Weather-wise.
storms that
Like a
just
summer storm
appears
that just
out
would
of
go
nowhere,
away.
but it didn't move. A lot of these storms move through quickly and the coast, but this one just like sat over
just
Charleston
hovered.
for like 3 hours. So we just drank the afternoon away at 5 Church Street?
Yeah, 5 Church Street.
Which
And
is
we
an
just had-
old church that they converted into a restaurant. And what's cool about it, if you look on the ceiling, they've got the entire book, The Art of War, written in I don't know if it was painted or what, but it's really slick looking. But
I think someone sat up there and they literally.
yeah, it was an
and
artist
right.
that did it. The entire
No, I don't know that. I'm
No, they
just
did.
joking.
They talked about it. Yeah. But we had great drinks there, great food, and we didn't feel like running through a monsoon to get back to the hotel, even though it was only a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
But just a great location. What other places, babe?
So some of the other places that we went to included the Darling Oyster Bar,
Yep.
which was really cute. I mean, the oysters were cute. Again, it wasn't that busy. I almost think that probably the energy would have been better there if it was a little bit more of a larger crowd.
It was a quiet.
Yeah, it was kind of quiet. But I will say the oysters were really good. We had like a seafood tower, like a little mini one because it was just the two of us, of course. We went to Muse. That was actually kind of
We had a
random.
great- yeah.
We didn't plan
That was
on
our
going
first
there
night
that
there, right? Sunday night when we
Yes.
got there.
And it
Everything
was
closed early except for the Muse.
yeah, and we had great service. Our server was amazing. The
Yeah.
music was good, and
Again, it's in like this old house, one of these old historical houses. You would walk right by it and not even realize if it didn't have a sign on there that it was a restaurant.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good place. And that what was really good there was the lamb. Was it lamb?
Lamb sausage. Yeah,
Ooh,
that was good.
That was really good.
And what was fun about that was on our anniversary, they played Fly Me to the Moon.
Yes,
Our same
which is our song.
from our wedding. So
Yeah.
we got to dance at the Muse on our anniversary.
Yeah, and that was not planned, or was it?
No,
didn't?
yes, I
Okay.
pre-planned the randomly going to that restaurant because
I
we
was
couldn't
gonna
get in the
say.
other place because it was closed. I did. That's how smooth I am.
You are pretty smooth.
Yeah, right.
The other place that we went to, which is actually on Sullivan's Island, that was really, I liked this place a lot. I actually
Yeah.
shared a few pictures because the design and the interior
It's
is
all
kind
over
of
it's all over places to go in Charleston.
Yeah.
And it lives up to it.
it really does. It's called The Obstinate Daughter.
The Obstinate Daughter was great.
It was really good. Everything
Great
was delicious.
ambiance.
Yeah, the
Good
ambiance was
drinks.
good. The drinks were really good. We had this honey drink. I'll share that too because I know I took a picture of the actual cocktail.
Indeed.
But I kind of wish that we maybe had more time in Sullivan's Island. So like, I think next time what I'd like to do is maybe like one-day stay in Sullivan's Island because basically you just ride up and down the island
Yeah,
on little golf carts.
it's a sleepy
totally
kind
my
of
vibe.
beach town. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
a sundress, a golf cart, delicious food and a cocktail. Sign me up.
Right. Yeah, that was great. You know, that's, I mean, kind of when we talk about the trip, you know, we could talk about the food, kind of breaking it all down. But I think for us, we always try to find a place where we can create memories. It doesn't have to be a lot of like crazy activity. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
But if we can go to a place and have great food, we had some great workouts. We were able to run right along the water and go down to the battery park. And
That was really nice.
you know, so as you can see, you know, kind of when we ran through historical Charleston, really pretty, nice shade, even though it was like 90 degrees out, so we were able to get some shade. But
going early morning wasn't bad.
Yeah,
And if you're
it
not
was
familiar
beautiful.
with the Battery, it's south of Broad and it's along the lower shores of the Charleston Peninsula. So you're running right along the water
very
side there.
southern tip of the city, yeah.
It's really a pretty run. And then there's a little park there that we were able to just kind of stop and then maybe do some other things like jumping squats or burpees or whatever and kind of break up our workout. But that was really nice. I like starting out our trips like with a morning workout anyways.
Yep.
Then I don't feel so bad with all the food that I'm devouring the rest of the day.
The extra thousands of calories that we
Yeah.
consume. Yeah, and then we certainly took a lot of pictures and visited Rainbow Row, which is very famous. Beautiful spot for some pictures. Very colorful, couple streets. But we just love that ambiance of kind
Taking
of
in.
peaceful and calm. And even though we're staying active, it's not a lot of stress. Like
Right.
whenever we go on trips, you know, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh.
What, like a Disney World trip?
Yeah,
That's
like I need a
stressful.
vacation from my vacation.
Yeah.
Like when we go on our anniversary trips, we always try to make them actual getaways, emotionally,
Right.
physically,
Really refreshing.
mentally. Yeah, like the whole thing. And then you come back and you're like, that was an amazing trip.
Can we go back?
Yeah, right. but we're kind of intentional and purposeful about that. We don't
Yeah.
want to come back and feel so stressed. You know, like
About
we
our
had to
trip.
check off this stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
I remember when we used to go on family trips, like maybe like a beach type place, we would always be like, let's get up. We got to go. We got to
And sign up for all these like excursions and all this
and
stuff.
everything. Which the kids, you know, it's important. I know it's, but for us, me and you, just on a trip like that,
Yeah.
you know, drink in hand, ocean in front of us.
And we like
on
to
the- in
explore. That's the
sand.
thing.
Yeah,
like,
we love to
I
explore.
want to take in like the architecture. One of the things that right now we weren't really able to do, just because a lot of them were closed due to COVID. There's really tiny art galleries in Charleston, and when we go back, and you know, if that changes here in the next, you know, 6 or 7 months, and we're able to go down. I thought it would be really nice to go through some of those art galleries. You could kind of peer in through the window, but there's just so many things that you could, while continuing to move your body, like different things you could take in without that pressure. But when we did go on family trips, like a Disney World trip, you had to hit every ride, and it was 105 degrees outside. You had to, you know, it's
No
just
thanks. No thanks.
those trips I was exhausted from coming home.
You know, one of the things we do, sometimes we do here locally, and this is always,
What's that?
this has worked out when we go to places, is kind of almost like not a bar crawl, but like a restaurant crawl. We'll go grab a couple drinks and have a couple of their, what sounds like really interesting appetizers. And then
Instead
move
of doing
on.
like a main.
Yeah, and then go to another restaurant and do that, you know, just so you can kind of see, because a place like Charleston, you could do that all day long. There's
Right.
little stops, you know, they're all within a few blocks of each other. It's great. It's
Yeah,
great
you could do
walking
little
town.
bites.
It's beautiful.
Instead of fully committing to like this ginormous meal. I like doing that better anyway.
I know it, right? So
I'm with you.
final verdict was Charleston was a huge hit. We loved it. We stayed for 4 nights.
Yeah.
It was an easy drive for us. So for most of the East Coast, I'd say it's a really easy drive.
Yeah, no heavy traffic.
None, not at all.
And
you know,
really just like kind of when we were getting off the interstate, you just kind of drive right into Charleston.
it goes from North
It's-
Charleston, which is, you know, kind of typical suburb, industrial type area, and then boom, you're in historical Charleston.
Yeah,
Just like
it's
that.
really easy. But you know, I am for one. I'm glad that we're kind of on that same page with enjoying Charleston and
Absolutely.
celebrating our anniversary.
I think, you know, it's, you know, not just being on the same page with that trip, but we're really on the same page with recognizing the importance of celebrating our anniversary. We've been doing that since day one.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that, you know, because sometimes, I'm more interested in something and you're more interested in something, but this is something we committed to right from the start. And every year is different. Some have been more extravagant as far as the trips and more costly. Sometimes they're, a little bit, maybe a weekend getaway, but we really try to make it a concerted effort every time.
We never skip it.
We never skip it, absolutely.
It may vary in what we actually do, but we never skip it.
Yeah, I think it's important to celebrate those milestones in a marriage, and other small wins. If you have something that's a win or something that's memorable, celebrate it.
Yeah,
Who cares, right? Like if people give you a hard time, that's fine. This is about us. This is us celebrating our marriage, and
no one's giving me a hard time about us celebrating.
I'm just saying, like if they did, then just be like, oh well, that's not our pride.
I mean, if there is a hard eye roll somewhere, I don't know about it. So I'm grateful for every year we've shared together. I mean, I think. Unfortunately, some couples forget to celebrate their anniversary the way they celebrated their engagement.
Right.
And I'm not talking about, the having an opportunity. I'm saying that they just, like you mentioned, they're maybe not as intentional. Even if they have the opportunity, they have, family nearby to take the kids and stuff, but they don't celebrate it the same way. So a lot of people go into engagement, they have these elaborate weddings, and, then when they're actually married, life begins, and it becomes challenging for them to recognize the small wins or celebrate those milestones, especially after those quote unquote honeymoon years.
Sure. I mean, a lot of, I think I don't think it's a stretch to say just about everybody celebrates their first anniversary, right? It's a big deal. It's, nowadays they celebrate like the 1 month, 2 month. It's been 3.5 months, and they celebrate almost like when you have a baby and it's like he's 10 months old. Yeah. Like our marriage is 10 months old. We should celebrate, which is great. I love it.
No, with babies though, I think that's the thing now that we have like Instagram and stuff. People will take a picture like every month.
Yeah,
of
right,
the baby.
right.
I think more to show the progression of their growth.
Yeah, because the babies change physically so much. Yeah. But no, I celebrate that. I want to make sure I'm not making fun of it as much as I'm saying. Are they going to do that at 23 months, at 34 months? Like, in every
Well, because it gets more challenging. It's easy when you don't have kids and you're 1 year in.
Right.
And life is
but it's
pretty
a big deal.
Simple at that point. You may probably, maybe you're renting a place or you have a smaller house, but as things become, or the to-do lists become longer and you have more people that need from you, you do have to be intentional. You do have to say, no, we're carving out this time to focus on celebrating our marriage, celebrating that year. Even if it's a good year, or even if it's a crappy year, okay? But if it's a good year, it's easy to do that. If it's a crappy year, you should still celebrate it.
You should.
Because you survived it. And I'm not...
Right.
I feel confident in saying that this year's probably not the best year for everybody, or most people.
Most people are...
I've seen plenty of memes.
Would love to flush 2020 down the toilet as quickly as possible.
Me included.
Right. But, I think that, just like you said, celebrating every year, not just big numbers like the 5 or 10 or 20.
Yeah.
I love the quote that, it's not the first day of your marriage that's important. It's the most important day is the last day of your marriage. Mm-hmm. I know that could sound morbid if you take it that way.
It does sound a little dark.
But the point is,
way to bring the mood down.
The point of that is like you want to end well. Mm-hmm. You want your marriage to end well.
Right.
Hopefully at a ripe old age of 90 plus, and you and it's
Let's
you
just
look
round
back
it off to 100.
There you go, at 100. But you
I want to
look
get
back
on that Smucker's jar and
but I think it's important. You know what? I'm trying to be serious here.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to
about peanut butter.
No, Smucker's is the jelly, the jam.
Oh, when I hear Smucker's, I hear peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Anyways,
I know. I'm the jam to your peanut
yes,
butter.
Yes, you are. But part of that, like if you look back at your marriage, you're not going to think about your wedding day that much. You're going to think about all the years.
Right.
So celebrating each year is part of that path, part of that journey. So I encourage everyone, if you don't, celebrate every year. Right. Celebrate little wins. Celebrate those things. Even if if it's a private celebration between the two of you, like honor each other, honor your marriage, and honor those wins. I think it's really important.
It is really important. And you know what? Celebrating small wins, even outside of marriage, but like focused on marriage, but celebrating small wins is proven to reignite that motivation. So whatever that small win is, like for us, obviously we set certain goals every year. And in between those big goals, we have smaller goals to get to an ultimate goal. We want to recognize, hey, we were able to check this off. We did this. We are working towards that. And it makes you feel like, oh, okay, my effort and my time was worth it. Together we're doing this. We're working as a team. So I think that's another kind of just another note there in terms of why you should celebrate those small wins.
And I think going away or, little trips like that, I think one of the kind of tests to know if it was a positive trip or if it was a good trip is when you come back, do you feel closer to that person?
Yeah.
Or
are you like, ugh, thank God.
I need to go to my corner. You need to go into your corner. I don't want to talk to you for a little while. I've seen so much of you over the last 4 days. I don't want to see you for a couple days.
They say you learn a lot about someone when you travel with them.
Yeah.
Luckily, we travel well together.
Yeah. So, we have our moments, right? But who doesn't? But I think that this trip in particular, because we've been stuck here for so long, and
we're bye.
But then when we got back, we were like, wow, that was amazing. We felt really, really close, and our intimacy was even stronger. So I think when you go on a trip, maybe take a lot of where you're at emotionally when you come back.
Yeah.
Did it bring you closer? Did it kind of, like you said, reignite? Did it motivate you to, want to improve things in your marriage at home? And excited about planning the next trip, right?
I've already started doing that.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. You've already got pin boards and whatever. When Pinterest stuff going on. No, Pinterest, the bane of my existence.
You love Pinterest. Doesn't every husband love Pinterest?
I'm sure. I'm not gonna lie. As I Google something to, some sort of project I'm doing at the house, Pinterest always pops up first. It's really annoying, but they're good. They always pop up with ideas. I've copied some pictures from Pinterest, that's for sure.
They know what's up.
They know what they're doing. I think another reason that it's really important to celebrate both our anniversary or milestones is, I think it sets a great example for the kids and for children to see their parents be intentional about celebrating their marriage.
Right.
I think it sets a good example, even though, sometimes our youngest may be like, where are you guys going? You're going away again? Like, yeah, where we are.
That makes
it's important.
It sound like we leave them all the time.
No, it doesn't. Don't be defensive. I'm just saying.
I know, I'm just teasing.
It's the truth. Yeah, we are. We're on purpose going away to spend time with each other because we like each other. It's not a negative towards you, little one. It's
no, they both know that we always celebrate our anniversary.
Yeah,
and I think they recognize that we see value in spending that time together, but in our marriage, and hopefully that's something that they'll carry over when they meet their future wives.
Yeah, we've said it very, very consistently that our marriage is the most important relationship in the home. And it doesn't, I know that can be kind of controversial, and some people think, oh, well, that, the kids then think that they are second fiddle, or it puts, some sort of weird burden on the children. No, I think if you have a healthy marriage and a healthy home, it's going to help those children be raised in a very confident and kind of secure manner.
Right.
If they know that mom and dad love each other, and they don't have to worry about that. I'd hate for them to have to, like a lot of people, unfortunately, children of divorce, it's hard. We're not children of divorce, but we know it's difficult. So if we can help prevent that from ever happening, and part of that being celebrating and each year just kind of building our marriage and celebrating that,
right.
We're never going to stop doing that.
Right. By basically planting those seeds in our marriage.
Yep.
Inadvertently is also planting the right seeds in the boys to know to do the very same thing when they get married.
I hope so. Absolutely.
So the other thing I was thinking of, it acts as a reminder of your big picture goals. So I think, when I was talking about reigniting the motivation with the small wins, when we kind of, put together our list of our annual goals, there are big picture things that we want to accomplish, but there's a lot of little things in between. So I think it definitely acts as a reminder of our big picture goals and kind of gets us excited again. I mean, there's a reason why our podcast is called destination marriage. You know, you don't arrive at your destination on your wedding day. That's just where the journey begins.
Absolutely.
Right? Well, until next time, guys, thanks for listening in.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if so, please continue to listen on Podbean, iTunes, or Spotify, and hit subscribe. Also, visit us at destinationmarriagepodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at destination_marriage, and be sure to tune in to our next episode.